Hey guys, what's going on? It's Twintuitive717. I am back with another video. I hope you guys are doing incredibly well. So I wanted to come on and just do a quick check-in for the Divine Masculines. I feel like these emotions are stirring up because their Divine Feminines are in their High Priestess and Empress energy. Many of you are learning the art of attracting things to you, and a lot of you are just slowing down on this journey, kicking your feet up, and you're no longer carrying a lot of baggage, especially the baggage that belong to your Divine Masculines, and I think that's a really important part of recognizing and realizing our worth. It's like a gentleman should be more than capable of carrying his own luggage, right? And I think it took many of us time to see that and realize that and move forward with our lives and not let life stop just because our Divine Masculine's world is being experienced in a certain way. Watching them in their karmic situations and feeling some type of way that, oh, they can't give to us, or they can't do this, or they can't do that. And, it really wasn't our weight to carry. I think the major lesson here was to see and recognize and understand what was happening and to make a conscious decision to unconditionally choose ourselves. All of that unconditional love that we were sending to the Divine Masculines, I think that is something that we needed to pour into ourselves with the Temperance card here. And just the whole energy of Temperance for me is like just complete balance. It's like such awareness on this journey, and now you are so skilled handling your own Divine Masculine and Feminine energies that when you do experience turbulence in this connection, a lot of you just know what to do now. And a lot of it is just taking care of yourself, walking away from what doesn't serve you at this time, even if it's your counterpart. And you're seeing that it's transforming the connection. Because I feel that when many of you choose to do this, as painful as it might be to initiate silence or separation, you guys can energetically feel your masculines rushing towards you. And I feel like it often comes in the form of sexual energy. So that might be a lot of what you guys are picking up on. So he's really turned on by your self-respect, the way you move, Divine Feminine, your style. You just don't compare to anyone that he's ever known. I feel like a lot of his previous relationships have kept him in these types of cycles where I feel like he just gets bored, the Magician and the Empress. I feel like he just gets bored and other types of connections. And, a lot of his past partners might stay in these cycles with him and not know how to walk away. And so many masculines have been feeling this energy of like distortion as to what real relationships consist of. And I think that ever since he's met his Divine Feminine, it's really hard to go back. It's hard to go backwards. And I think that the minute he started engaging with you, Divine Feminine, you quickly captured his heart with this Empress energy, because you were so, again, with the Temperance card here, you were so awakened to certain things in this lifetime that just he wasn't having these types of conversations with anyone else. And not only were you dropping these kind of deep conversations with him, but you were also so incredibly beautifully sexy and attractive and everything that he's ever longed for or imagined. Like I was saying in my last reading, many of you might be like a different race or a different culture, or you might be older or younger than your Divine Masculine. And deep down inside, like, it's everything they've always dreamt of, but they may grow up in an environment where it's like they can't just come out and say that, or they could face a lot of judgment. And this is the honest truth for some of these masculines out there. But it doesn't change the way that they feel, okay? And I think that with the Magician card coming out, your masculine is getting very, very, very clear messages at this time that he's got to follow his own path. And he's the only one in control of his own happiness at this time. And I think that the message that this Divine Feminine is sending to him, without even actually having to come out and say it, is, like, stand up for yourself. And I think that it's very triggering being in this divine feminine's presence, because like I mentioned in my last reading, you're bringing the emperor out of this divine masculine. You know, just looking at you makes him feel like, I want to do the work. I want to challenge myself to be around this energy. And it's more than just this sexual attraction to you, divine feminine. I think with the magician card here, what you guys may not actually realize, because it can seem very like illusionary, is, if that's a word, sorry guys, illusionary, I don't know, it seems like an illusion, is that you guys may not realize that he looks up to you, like he admires you, divine feminine. And not in like, yes, in a sexual way, he absolutely sees you as like, holy hell, this is the hottest woman I've ever seen. But you set an example, if that's, you know, the best way to put it. But you set a fine example of what it means to be out there in the world doing your thing and doing it all on your own, you know. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a career. It could be, you know, a divine feminine who knows how to run her household, take care of her kids, cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner, see the kids out the door, having the house looking, you know, spick and span, and waiting for the kids as soon as they get home off the bus, snack time's ready, you know, bath time's all in order, right on time, all of these things. It's just, I hear him saying, like, how does she do it? And it's putting him into this energy of like wanting to do it too. And I think many feminines feel this as well. Like, you guys do feel like the magician. It's like you guys can get so much done in a day and not even break a sweat. And I think that that is what a lot of your divine masculines really admire about you. And this is that energy that it sets the tone, you know what I mean? And I think that what a lot of you may not realize here with this temperance energy is that because you guys are so balanced in your masculine and feminine energies, your masculine feel like they're just not there yet, and they don't know how to say that, and it's easier to ghost you, and it's easier to stay where they are so that they don't have to feel triggered by these things. But I think for many of them, they just don't feel ready for you, but they want to be, because it's like you're so much of a turn on. It's like they've never experienced this kind of attraction before. And many of them are starting to understand and see that this whole twin flame journey, this whole, you know, divine masculine, divine feminine aspect of meeting you and seeing you and becoming aware of all of these things, it's bringing a lot of gifts to this divine masculine as well. It's letting him see that manifestation is real. You know, having faith. Many of your masculines they've watched you transform divine feminine, especially with them as well, like your behavior, the way you carry yourself. Everything is just transforming right in front of their eyes. And it's just happening so quickly. And what you guys are doing this time around with, you know, choosing to consciously be in your Empress energy, sit down and attract things to you. We've talked about the snake before being about protection, okay, divine feminines. And I think many of you are not afraid now to stand up for yourselves, to walk away from what doesn't serve you, because you know your twin flame connection is protected. And it's okay and it's safe to walk away from what doesn't serve you. And what it's doing in turn is it's showing your divine masculine this energy of walking away from things that don't serve us. And I feel that when the divine feminine distances herself, when, let's say, the masculine is caught up in like either third-party situations or any type of situation that there is a lesson to be learned, a soul lesson that might bring about tower moments and the dark night of the soul, he's learning how to walk through this with courage and grace and strength. And he's no longer being manipulated, because the divine feminine won't be manipulated by him. And so it's an interesting mirroring effect that the both of you are creating with each other right now, with, you know, the divine feminine standing in her truth. I feel like it makes the masculine want you even more, but with wanting you even more now with this new energy, it's forcing him to get into this magician energy and really make things happen in his life. And I love the way that he's holding out the wand and the sword here, because I feel like all of the elements are on the table here for a reason. It's like he's ready to take on every area of his life that seems or feels imbalanced, all in the name of this whole twin flame connection. And it's like whoever has anything to say about it, he doesn't really care at this time. And I feel like he doesn't care because he knows that he can consciously just manifest his ideal life. And I think that the people that are getting cut out from his life or removed from his life, he's no longer asking himself why or even making efforts to try to hold on, because he knows that they're standing in the way somehow of him connecting to his feminine. I feel like this magician is piecing things together, and he is ready to make the necessary changes, because he knows that by releasing and letting go and walking away from all that doesn't serve him, it only brings him closer to the temperance energy, balancing his own masculine and feminine energies, so that he can come to this divine feminine feeling more prepared. Because I think the people that he keeps around him, the companies, the situations, the kind of thinking that he might be stuck in, it all has to do with influence. And I feel like a clear message from his divine feminine is that be careful about who you're surrounding yourself with. And if you're careful about, look at all the elements on the table, okay? So be careful of like the thoughts you keep when it comes to the way that you care for yourself, with the wand's energy there. The way you think about yourself, the way you love yourself. And even when it comes to like earning his money or earning his pentacles, make sure you're doing it from an authentic place. Make sure you're doing it from a place of passion. And that's bringing up a lot of realizations within him. I feel like this masculine's tried to follow his passions before. He's tried to, I don't know, maybe like launch his own business or do his own thing. And the more he started awakening to this whole twin flame connection and this whole journey, I feel like there was a lot of sabotage that came his way, because people around him just didn't want him to be successful, because that meant that he could now make any decision that he wants to and walk away from any decision, and walk away from any place or people or situation that he wants to. Because with this divine masculine, I feel like as long as he's got his pentacles stacked, this is his way of fighting off these karmic situations, and he knows that. But I think that, he was sabotaged before he was able to really, take off. And it sent him through like this dark period. And that's why many of you might feel like even when you're connecting with your masculines, they seem like a feral cat, like just so scared of love. And that has a lot to do with it, guys. It's like the minute he decided to wake up to this whole love or feeling of just being curious about his divine feminine, and people around him saw that, they started to get into very like narcissistic energies around him as well. Like spiting him or again sabotaging him without him even knowing. And yeah, this really took an energetic toll on him. But I feel like his divine feminine, the presence of her in his heart and his mind and his spirit, has somehow always gotten him out of these situations. And now that he is seeing this for himself, he no longer wants to like cut it close in these types of situations. It's like, I feel him saying to himself, like, I would rather be alone, because even with all these people around me, like, I keep losing, I keep ending up with this feeling of just being lonely. And so, yeah, I think for a long time they feared going off and venturing off on their own and having to do things on their own. Because I think too, like for this particular masculine, like belonging to a community or belonging to like a group or belonging, the sense of belonging was very important for them. Maybe they were like really, they were looked up to, or a lot of people had like very high thoughts of them, and they just didn't want to lose that feeling, all for this whole twin flame connection that they didn't understand. But now that true colors around them are coming out, I feel definitely many of them are waking up to the love and the attraction more than anything else, and nothing is going to stop them with this magician card. All right, so I don't know who this message is meant for, but your masculine is coming for you. All right, I love you guys. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you in the next video. Okay, bye guys.